In this video, we're going to take a look at the rhythm line on page 5. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's do it one measure at a time. So when we look at this first measure, 175, we can see right here that we're starting with 2 eighth notes. So these two notes are connected with the line here. These are eighth notes. If we take this and put it in the measure, you can see how this works. Each of these notes takes up half of a count. They both are on count 1. This note's on count 1, and this note's on count 1. So when I write in my counting, I'm going to write a 1, and then I'm going to put a plus, and I'm going to say and. So I'm going to say 1 and for those two notes. This is on the first half of this first note's on the first half of the beat, the second note's on the second half of the beat. Now we come here and there's a quarter note, that's going to be right here on count 2. Just like if I just put this quarter note right here. Okay, now when we come to count 3, we can see there's the 2 eighth notes again. So we're going to put the 2 eighth notes here. This note's on count 3 and this note's on count 3. This is on the first half, this is on the second half. So we put a 3 and then we put an and. Now, the last count, we have a quarter note again. So we're going to put a quarter note here on count 4 and we're going to write the number 4 here. So this measure would be counted 1 and 2, 3 and 4. These are equal, these notes are equal halves of the beat. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. When we get to measure 176, here we have 4 eighth notes grouped together. So this is just like if we have 2 sets of 2 eighth notes each. We just connected them with one long line across all 4. So this would be still counted the same way that we would expect it to be counted. This note's on count 1, and this note's on count 1, that's on the second half. This note's on count 2, and this note's also on count 2, on the second half of count 2. So we'll start that by saying 1 and 2 and. Then these 2 quarter notes here, those are nice and easy for us. We have a quarter note on count 3, a quarter note on count 4. So we'll put a 3 right here and a 4 right there. And this measure is going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Make sure these quarter notes are nice and long. Here in measure 177, we have a new type of note. This is a dotted half note. It looks like a half note, but you'll notice there's a dot next to it. So a dotted half note is 3 counts. The dot adds half the value to the note. So here you can see this note takes up all of count 1 and count 2 and count 3. So I need to write 3 numbers underneath this note. 1, 2, 3. Now, there's a quarter note. That's going to come right on count 4. So I'll take my pencil and I'll write a 4 right here. So when I'm counting this, I need to think through those 3 beats. 1, 4. Thinking 1, 2, 3, and then moving on the 4th count. This measure presents a similar situation at the start. We have a dotted half note, so we'll say 1, 2, 3 again here. But here on count 4, instead of a quarter note, we put 2 eighth notes. Let's take a look at how that's going to fit in our measure. Here's our dotted half note, 1, 2, 3. Here's our 2 eighth notes on count 4. So, again, the dotted half note gets 3 counts. It gets 3 numbers. The eighth notes, this one's on count 4 on the first half, and this note's on count 4. So when we're counting this, we would go 1, 4, and we would move the 2 eighth notes happening there. For this measure, we start with 3 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, and then we have the eighth notes on count 4, 4 and. Here's what that's going to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4 and. And I'll take my pencil and I'll write 1, 2, 3. Each note gets 1 count, so it gets 1 number. And then these eighth notes, this is on count 4, and this is on count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Make sure these eighth notes are even, 4 and. And hopefully this last measure is a nice easy one for you. 1, 2, 3. This is a regular half note. There's no dot after it, so it's only going to be 2 counts. So we have a quarter note on count 1, a quarter note on count 2, and a regular half note for 2 counts on count 3 and 4. Again, the counting here is going to be 1, 2, 3, and hold that note for 2 counts. So let's take a look at this whole line all together now. Notice how each counting is written directly underneath the note that it goes with. The only notes that have more than one number are notes that last for more than one count. Otherwise, every note has its counting written directly underneath it. Let me count it for you with a metronome. Ready, go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 4, 1, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Off. Make sure that last note gets 2 full counts. I hope that helps you understand. Page 5, the rhythms from measure 175 to 180.